While the children of the 60s had chanted, "Tune in, turn on, and drop out," by the mid-80s, they changed their tune and decided success and wealth weren't so bad after all.
Who would have thought we'd both make so much bread? Two revolutionaries. Good thing it's not important to us.
Like, who needs money, man?
Symbolic of the change in values were the Yuppies who became Yuppies. Former 60s activists turned 80s materialists.
Jerry Rubin has become a Wall Street capitalist.
Money always gave me a headache. Now I'm really interested in money because I see that's where the power is.
I know you wanna leave me.
But while baby boomers abandoned the ideals of the 60s, they didn't turn their backs on the decade's music.
Don't you have any other music, like, from this century?
60s artists lived on in classic radio, and boomers spent millions of dollars replacing their worn vinyl with new high-tech compact discs. As corporate America realized 60s rock fans now had 80s money, they turned to the era's rock stars to sell their products. And artists of the 60s profited in ways that no one could have imagined 20 years earlier.
If you think about, like, using a Rolling Stones song in 1970 to sell a product, it's insane.
The Rolling Stones were the first to embrace corporate sponsorship. In 1981, their Tattoo You tour was sponsored by Jovan Perfume.
By the time you're into the 80s, the boomers who grew up with that music are now the adults, and they're not freaked out by the Stones. In fact, there's something that's sort of comforting, and that becomes something you can sell products with.
It takes a lot of people to put the Who on tour, and it took a great beer like Schlitz to bring the Who to America.
All the big bands that have got back together, I think half of it's love, but a lot of it's money. You get used to having money. It's easy to keep earning a bit more, but it's so difficult to earn less.
Schlitz rocks America.
I don't really see it as a sellout. I think anyone who does, ought to go and live in Russia. Because, this is a capitalist country, people work for money around here.
Soon, 60s artists were selling their songs for use in commercials.
By the time the 80s came, people like Clapton were just like bland, middle-aged guys. And they weren't the enemy anymore. They were what you wanted.
The night belongs to Michelob.
But when Michael Jackson sold the Beatles' Revolution to Nike for a sneaker commercial, some people thought the sellout of music had gone too far.
To take that song that you have asked an audience to make a part of their life personally and use it to sell sneakers, I think is a betrayal of that trust.
Younger artists cashed in too and signed big endorsement deals. But for artists who came of age in the 80s, music was already big business, and they expected to get rich from rock and roll.
Won't you give me a break? Somebody give me a break now.
One of my reasons for wanting to do the Diet Coke thing was that I need loads of money.
But as a new generation of rock stars enjoyed unprecedented wealth and success, the excess of the 80s would soon take its toll.